You're on a mission to convert everyone vegan by dating them.
Oh my god, I was actually flirting with this guy recently. Like the question I would ask him, like, would you turn vegan for me? The way to flirt with me though is to say yes.
If you could get a kiss for every time someone asks you that question,
Actually,
right?
I would be kissed a lot. I don't know. I don't think anyone that eats meat is also gonna want to kiss this person that's eating a whole cow.
But people don't mind it.
Fair.
People who eat meat don't mind the
You don't know that.
Would you, Shreya?
I don't think so. I think I want them to either like mouthwash or
If we only date all the people that get it, then we're like cutting ourselves off from showing it to people that would not otherwise get to see the inside of what we're doing.
But it's such a big decision, right? To marry
To
someone.
marry
What
is
about-
a whole other ballgame, right? But to date is like,
You're talking to a Gen girl who has so much marriage pressure. Now, when I think of dating, I think of marriage. That's where I'm at. So both of you are into
Yes.
different forms of vegan content creation. Do you receive a lot of hate?
I receive a lot of advice.
Beautiful.
What do they people advise you?
Yeah, I don't get proposals for sure.
I've been emailed a picture
no
of a
sexy
guy who's
pictures.
eating chicken.
Was the guy cute or?
Well, I mean, he was mean. He bullied me.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that bit.
He was kind of cute actually, but I mean, he was eating meat. So
I mean, like when people were like, "Why did you choose to go vegan?" I was like, "Would you rather I did drugs?" And
Yeah.
like, I feel like I've come back not eating meat. This is much better.
Welcome to another episode of Sustainability, guys. This is the most
Yes,
amount of
thank
vegans
you.
I've ever had together on the show.
This is all the vegans in Dubai. We're
That's it.
here.
This is
the
it.
room.
This
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
I'm so
Everyone's here. I don't know who's outside milking
Well,
almonds right now.
They milking almonds,
Yeah.
not boiling tofu.
No.
We're,
Not yet.
we're
We're all here,
We're
so.
milking almonds. Your skin looks great, Priyansh. What do you
Guys, what's
what do
going
you what do you do?
You know, like when you press tofu, and all the
All the
that
water.
liquid comes out.
Yeah.
Just
It's that, right?
don't do
Right.
that,
It's
guys.
not,
This is not. Don't try this at all, please. This is satire, please.
It's not rose water.
I'm gonna
it's
get like
it's
people
tofu
send
water.
me pictures of being like,
But
okay.
honestly though, you do have to say that vegans have great skin. I think that is like something that a lot of people who I've spoken to who've gone vegan and quit like dairy, they
Yeah.
actually like their acne disappeared. So I think like if for anything, just for your acne, go dairy free. You know what I mean?
Love that. Would
I
you
swear.
recommend that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Sure,
Just,
man.
yeah. I'm
You
sure.
know, I'll go
I'm sure
with
it
it.
works. I don't
No,
know.
I swear. No, a friend of mine, she had really severe acne, and she went dairy free completely, and all her acne cleared. So I use her as an example.
In how
Yeah.
long? Like how long did it take?
Pretty quick. I think she had like show me the pictures of like before and after and stuff. I was really happy to see that.
Love that. Let's talk about community, right? Turning vegan or being vegan and not having the support that you need or not having like-minded people around you. How important is community when it comes to being vegan?
100%. Like I think I would love it if all of my friends and like partners
Partners?
All your partners? How many of them?
Are we talking?
How many do you want
How many do
vegan?
you need?
What percentage do you want vegan?
Like 2 of them and 3 of them? Do they know about each other? Are they all vegan?
Do they know they're your partners?
So you're on a mission to convert everyone vegan by dating them.
Oh my god, you know how great this would be. So I was actually flirting with this guy recently, and I was actually thinking about that. I would like the question I would ask him, like, would you turn vegan for me? That would be like, and if the answer is yes, then like we're on a good.
Yeah, but
you know?
how many dates in are you asking this question?
I would probably ask it like from the get go.
You would ask
Yeah,
that?
but then
I know. I mean,
but
what
then
would
they
you
don't-
do?
They don't know what they're giving. Like, you know, if they're like, no, but I don't want. Like at that point, they don't know you.
Yeah.
You know, there's no relationship where they're like,
There's no
well, I'll
emotional
do it.
connection
The-
to go vegan for you.
They're like, yes,
Huh?
this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
But the
I
thing
don't
to-
care.
the way to flirt with me though is to say yes. You know what I mean? Like if they say yes, then
Do they know that?
The way to flirt with you is to lie, basically.
Yeah,
No,
just to tell you that I
The
would go
bar is
vegan
on
for
the
you.
ground. I'm sorry.
Reminds. Are you single?
Yeah. See, I get asked a lot, like, would you date non-vegan people? Blah,
Right.
blah. I don't mind it because
You don't mind it.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna be one of those. Would you kiss a non-vegan right after they've had meat?
how many
Would you?
times, like, every time everyone's just like, would
If
kiss
you
someone
could,
that's
if you could
eating?
get a kiss for every time someone asks you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
question,
Actually,
right?
I would be kissed a lot. I don't know.
but would you?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know about the kiss because I don't like, what have they eaten? Have they eaten a whole like lamb shank. I don't know. Like, what are they eating? What are we talking about?
They've eaten a whole cow. What
Yeah,
about?
look, I don't think anyone that eats meat is also gonna want to kiss this person that's eaten a whole cow.
But people don't mind it.
Fair.
People who eat meat don't mind the
You don't know that. There's
Would
certain
you,
foods-
Shreya?
I don't think so. I think I'd want them to either like mouthwash or go brush it
quickly, like in the middle of?
Yeah.
Well, okay. The
But I
question
don't think
then:
so. I think it's
Yeah.
off-putting.
would you eat a meat eater? Would you eat?
Would you eat a meat eater? I would. No, I'm kidding. I don't want
eat
that
a
on.
meat
I don't want
eater?
that on the internet. Actually, sorry.
Okay.
Digital footprint.
So the real question is: would you date a meat eater?
Not me.
Yes,
Wow.
because if we only date all the people that get it, then we're like cutting ourselves off from showing it to people that would not otherwise get to see the inside of what we're doing.
But it's such a big decision, right? To marry someone, to be in a relationship with someone. You share so many of your meals together.
To marry
What
is a whole other ballgame, right? But to date is like you can
Right,
date a non-vegan
okay.
person.
You're talking
Yeah.
to
If
a
they-
Gen girl who has so much marriage pressure. Now, when I think of dating, I think of marriage.
Sorry,
That's
sorry.
where I'm at. they're not two separate things.
I get.
Yeah, but like for me, it's like, look, everyone in my family didn't get veganism, right? And so, but now they get it because they've seen me do it enough, and they've seen what I eat, and I make the food, and they eat it, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. If I can give that opportunity to someone else to then make that decision for themselves, then that way I'm just not only dating like-minded people, but I'm allowing them to see in.
But you're doing that in a way
perspective.
that would inspire them to go vegan eventually. Would that be the long-term goal, that you'd want them to be plant-based, or you'd want them to be at least vegetarian, if not?
Ideally, like I'd want them to not think of vegan food as like not food. But I'd want them to be able to imagine a plate of food without meat on it as food. Because most people can't. But if we can already get people to start thinking of like, hey, this is a whole meal that I'm going to eat and there's no meat in it, that's already a step in that right direction.
But it's more than just food, though, right? It's them actually seeing animals the way we see animals as well, and getting.
But once you start showing, like, again, exposure is everything, right? Like if we're gonna cut out all the non-vegan people and be like, I'm not gonna date a non-vegan person, then we
There's no
don't
one
give them the
left.
opportunity. Yeah, also there's no one left to date. All the vegan people are here, so who are we gonna date? But also we just cut off the opportunity of them to be able to see our perspective and to start seeing it from someone else's eye, to then develop their why of going vegan.
Yeah.
I like
if
that.
they want to go vegan.
So you mean
know?
we shouldn't exist in echo chambers?
Exactly.
Almost go
Yeah.
beyond.
Exactly, because the more
Establish
you
it
also
being
try
vegan.
to, the more we also try to answer difficult questions from our partners about meat and veganism, blah blah. It pushes us to further research our why, and it may help strengthen their why.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's just vegan advocacy in general, not even just like with vegan dating and stuff, but in general, that we don't close ourselves off, that we actually stay open to non-vegans. And that's the only way to get them into veganism, is by actually welcoming them and not closing veganism off to them.
Because everyone would agree on a lot of fundamental things. If we try to have conversations with people based on how many things they agree with us on directly, we're barely going to have any conversations. But there are a lot of bottom line things that people agree on.
Such as?
Just like animals should not be killed, right? Or tortured, right? We agree on that. Whether or not we're able to make that connection of that on our plate versus how it gets there, we agree that this is the thing. But the more we start to challenge that notion of like, hey, this can stop though, and we can still get all that stuff, all that flavor, all that taste, all that texture
Yeah.
without that happening. The more we are able to show other people that, the more people will start to change the way they think about what we are doing.
Has anyone ever ghosted you or mocked you because you're vegan in a romantic situation?
Romantic situation, I mean, definitely just in social situations, got so much, like, as if you're the only vegan in like a non-vegan friend group, like you do get hate for sure, and you get like jokes and just stuff that you just want to ignore for sure. I've had that happen to me before. But yeah, so that's why it's hard in social situations. That's why to answer your question about community, like finding a vegan community is so important, because you are alienated from society as a vegan, because you're different from what society's doing. You think differently. So finding that community, like, us right now.
He's
You
right.
know,
I
feels
think
great.
balance, right? You need that community, but you also need
Yeah.
to interact and engage with people outside of that community to, I
Yeah.
think, just spread those principles and those values as well.
No, I agree, because we have to make sure there's no divide, you know, that we don't say vegans versus non-vegans, but we actually just try to bring veganism into the normal and make it normal, make it, something accessible.
How do you think we do that? What is one way that you'd say we normalize this movement and make it mainstream?
I mean, you know how like you say your friends make fun of you and things like that. I make fun of myself. Like a lot of it is like I can take that joke and also I can initiate the joke. You know, so
Mocking yourself?
yeah, and it's also like it's not even an attack on myself or it's not even something rude, but it's just funny. And once people start to see that I'm not like
You don't take
pushing
yourself
anything,
seriously.
yeah, and that
You're
I'm
not
not,
preachy.
yeah, the once they start to see that, because what people don't want is to be part of a club that is like that. You know, they a lot of people see veganism and they're like, I don't want to be a vegan.
What is that? What is vegan?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
changed a lot. It's changed a lot because now there's so many people that are, but there weren't many people that were before. So a lot of it was preachy. A lot of it was coming from a place of like, I am better than you for choosing this lifestyle, you know? And the more people that we have in this space, the more it's gotten better.
Yeah.
And the more people are exposed to different types of people,
Yeah.
they start to see that, oh, this person can be like, you know, like,
Like you can be normal and vegan.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can be funny.
No, I mean,
You can be normal. You can try.
I think
you
so.
can be funny and pretty and nice. You can
Yeah.
look good and feel good and
Yeah, we're not
of
a
course,
certain
exactly.
type of like.
Exactly.
There's no certain type of vegan anymore.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just people that happen to be vegan. There's just people
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
you that.
We should get away from the term vegan being this, you know, militant vegan and just
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it, like mainstream, like you said. But I think that preachy vegan type, it comes from something where it comes from when people are advocating for veganism from the animal's perspective, and people get triggered by the fact that they are doing something that is essentially not in line with their values, but they're doing it. So that is obviously cognitive dissonance, and that gets triggered, and that's why the preachy vegan stereotype is there. So I think in order for us to inspire veganism, we have to kind of move away, unfortunately, from like really tough animal activism and to kind of welcome them and to say like, look, be flexitarian, try it out, meatless Monday, and just try that. And by then they'll take slow steps and eventually they can become like the ethical vegan that we want them to be. But it's a journey and we have to kind of talk to them where they're at, and then from that on try to get them away from viewing animals as objects.
Yeah, it's hard not to feel angry when you discover certain facts and you understand the truth behind these industries. It's hard not to be angry, which is why I think you know the stigma and labeling us as angry vegans.
Yeah,
that comes
100%.
from.
I mean, every vegan has been an angry vegan at some point in their life. Like, especially like when I found out, I was like, there is no way. Like, why is everyone
How do we
doing
do this to
Yeah.
the animals?
Yeah, like
How
how
is
did
this-
we
how
get
is this
away with all
okay?
of this, you know? And it honestly, in that point, it becomes like I need to let as many people know because they need to know what I
You
know.
want to shout, you want to
Yeah,
scream,
yeah.
you want to
And
from a
then
rooftop.
the more you learn is like, look, if someone came to me that way, I may have like been like, yo, relax, you know. So that my whole advocacy is I'm gonna approach it the way it works for me, or the way it would have worked for me. Is just show people a delicious food. That's as easy as it is. People are willing to give up makeup items that aren't, because there are good vegan makeup items, you know. There are good vegan face washes, there's good vegan cosmetics, there's good vegan shoes, there's good vegan fashion, all of that. You can't really go out of your way and be like, no, this is not, you know. It's all pretty
not
much
good
similar.
enough.
It's not that crazy. It's becoming industry standard in most places. In cosmetics, in makeup, cruelty-free vegan is like any new brand coming out now has to be one of those
that
things.
should be the bare minimum.
So, but in food, it's like you're giving up years of traditions, years of cultures, years of all of that. And we're like, no, don't give it up. Here, try it in a different way and see if you like it. And if you don't, cool, keep experimenting till you find a way that works.
Nice.
But in the meantime, don't stop doing what you're doing, but also don't stop exploring. Don't let what you're doing stop you from trying to find maybe something that's better.
So it's about making sure they don't feel like they're giving up on anything. They're not sacrificing
That's it.
the taste, or like you said, it's so
Exactly.
much about culture, upbringing, what they grew up with, conditioning as well. And food is so personal. Food is
extremely
incredibly individualistic.
Yeah.
At least it's an individual preference, and it goes really deep with family and, you know, like you said, just growing up.
Yeah.
Childhood memories for that
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, I agree. It is not that, like, we had to let people in and we had to find that common ground. That's easier to find than being like, hey, this is what I believe, this is what you believe. One of this is wrong.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, we both actually agree with this middle thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a bit more. And at some point, we'll both reach an understanding, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to talk in a way that I know everything and I'm right, then I'll lose that person, because that person's now trying to fight that they are also right. Now we're both not having a conversation about what is right. It's about who is right.
Wow. Powerful.
And so if we find something in the middle, like 9 times out of 10, we're fighting the same fight.
Yeah.
So it's not you versus me, it's you and me against the problem.
Exactly.
Wow, that's
Exactly.
good relationship advice.
Coming
What
back
are the problems
to
in your life? Let's talk about it.
I mean, the multiple partners. Let's start with that.
Let's go.
But there's something random about the cosmetics that you mentioned. Did you know that actually China, it's required to test on animals for any product to be available? So if any product gets sold in China, it means that it was tested on animals. That's why some brands, like I think The Ordinary,
Kiehl's and all of them. Yeah,
they're not
vegan.
fully cruelty free, because
Yeah.
when they sell in China, they have to actually test on animals, which is
That's a
so
mandate.
ridiculous.
Mm.
Yeah. But I know that in India it's illegal. So all the makeup brands in India are actually cruelty free.
I
It's
didn't know
actually
that.
illegal to test on animals. All
Is
the
it
makeup
cruelty
brands.
free if it's not vegan?
Good question. Do you know that there's a skincare brand from snails? It's from snails, and they say it's cruelty free, but it's not vegan because it's an animal product. But I don't think that.
How does that go?
Because they
together?
just take the trill of the snail. They don't make the snail do anything. They just take it from the snail. But at the same time, they're like, making money off the trill of a snail. So there must be some snails, it must be, if it's a business, and there must be exploiting animals, but they say it's cruelty free in that way. But I just don't think it's vegan, right?
What's your take on cruelty free versus vegan?
I mean, I feel like, what's the difference?
Vegan is when it comes from an animal.
Okay.
Like, as in, you don't use anything that comes from an animal. And cruelty-free means that the animal wasn't suffering or exploited or
wasn't tested on
harmed.
But if
animals
it
for
could
that
from an
matter.
animal,
It could be,
Cruelty,
like I said, it's a snail
like if
that's
something
just
has
walking.
dairy
And
in
it's,
it can be cruelty-free and not vegan, but
no, but how
we
could
know
that be cruelty-free if there's cruelty in the dairy industry?
Exactly.
Yeah, but people don't.
I'm saying if you picked up a feather from the street that was fallen
How are you
from...
making a billion products from fallen feathers?
I'm just, you're asking me what's the
No,
difference?
so explain to us, please. No, I'm
Then
kidding.
that would be cruelty-free, but maybe not vegan because it's from an animal.
No, I feel like
You said
vegan
this
should
2
be
minutes
cruelty-free.
ago. It's not you versus me. It's
No,
you and me versus
right
the
now it's you
problem.
versus me. Okay.
Attack.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I just wanted to share that about China. Just don't buy products from China.
Yeah, no, but
Because
you're
it's- yeah.
right. There could be honey in a product, there could be milk in a product, and it could still be labeled as cruelty free,
Yeah.
but not vegan.
Yeah. But we know that
But we know that.
those
We
two
know
things
what?
should be together.
Yes.
How do we know that?
Science.
Science, the scientist.
Okay, what about honey, guys? Let's talk about honey.
That was a big one for me. I think there were certain things that I learned along the veganism journey, right? I think the food was the most obvious one, but then you learn about leather, you learn about silk, you learn about suede, and then honey was one of the few things that I just missed. Like, oh wait, that comes from an animal too. And I was like, but I don't think bees get harmed when it comes to making honey. And then you watch all the honey videos, and then obviously there's cruelty involved. What was your journey with honey?
So what's so funny is I did research on what the bee industry is like, and there is cruelty involved. Obviously, at any industry of scale, there's going to be cruelty when it's involving animals. And the bees, they do the queen bee. She gets her wings clipped, and she can't move from hive to hive. So her natural instinct is to leave a hive if it's no longer beneficial for her. But they clip the wings so that she stays in one hive. They kill off bees during winter because it's more economically beneficial for them to kill them versus keep them alive during the winter. So they kill off all the bees during winter. They obviously we take the honey from them. They give them a sugar substitute. So there's a lot of exploitation involved, but people can argue that having their own beehive might not be like exploitation. I was wondering what you guys think of that. If you were to have your own beehive and take care of the bees and stuff, would you consider that honey like vegan?
Personally, no. I just wouldn't consume anything that comes from an animal. That's just where I'm at.
Again, I don't know enough about this. I know that we have a declining population of wild bees. I know that we need more wild bee farms for sure to regenerate that population.
Yeah.
Because without that, the Earth's going to collapse.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I don't know how the honey of that would work.
Yeah.
Again, I have no, like, I don't know what the right answer is. I personally have no temptation to go out of my way and try something. You know, there's the whole, like, if you have a chicken in your backyard, they lay eggs, would you do that? Blah,
the
blah.
Same thing with cows. People justify the by saying, I'll just raise the cow myself and I'll consume, I'll give milk to the cow and, you know, I'll have whatever's left over.
Yeah, again, I don't know what the right answer to that is. I just know what I would do in that scenario. And for me, I have no temptation to imagine a made up scenario where I get to not live this lifestyle. So for me, it's like, this is it. I've chosen it, blah, blah. If it works for someone else and if they think this is right, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know what the right.
Yeah, I haven't found an argument for that either. But I know people used to do that back in the day, but obviously not everyone can raise a cow in their backyards.
But this is why when we're, even now, people think like, hey, you need dairy, you know? And when you talk to older people, you talk to our grandparents, grandparents, they're like, yeah, we grew up healthy with milk and ghee and all that, and now you guys are not eating it.
Yeah.
But they grew up with a different version of that.
True.
It wasn't mass produced. It wasn't pasteurized and blah 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 and all those things. All those things weren't added to it. Cows weren't being fed all the kind of feed that they're being fed now.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's not the same product that they grew up with that we're getting now.
Yeah,
100%.
And so when people were like, no, but that's tradition. Like we drank milk. Like I drank milk every morning before I went to school, right?
Nasty.
Did you not drink milk growing up? Jesus.
Wow, milk shaming.
Wow,
milk shaming.
I was like,
I
used to love milk. Like I would drink straight milk cold. I was one of those people. Yeah.
Do you do the same now with oat milk?
Yeah. Soy milk. I love straight soy milk.
Wow. So it's soy for you through and through. Like tofu,
I really
soy
love
milk.
soy milk. I love oat milk. I don't like almond milk.
Yeah, no one really likes almond milk.
Oh, really?
To be
okay,
honest.
cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was like unpopular
I love
opinion.
coconut milk. That's
Yes,
coconut milk is great.
Milk's a vibe.
Is like top favorite. And cashew milk and all the other milks.
Cashew milk's great.
I love
hazelnut milk's great.
Cashew's amazing. You can make cashew
Cashew
cheese,
is
everything.
rich,
anything,
though.
guys. What's the weirdest milk you've come across? I've seen potato milk. I've seen milk made out of green peas. I've seen
pea protein milk is amazing. Pea milk
Pea actually should be
is
more
great.
popular.
Should be more popular because it's sustainable and a lot of protein.
Great protein.
What do you mean sustainable? Less water.
Than almond,
Yeah, it's just easier to grow.
Yeah.
And you can grow it in more places than you can grow nuts.
Interesting. Never thought about that. But potato milk was something that
I've never heard of that.
I don't know if is that just starch? Like what is it?
Have you guys made your own
Potato
milks?
juice? Yeah.
I've tried and I failed miserably.
What?
I failed miserably. I
How?
tried
It's
like
just
almond
water
milk and it was just like a
it's almond
bunch of unblended almonds in the sack. That's all I got at
I
the
think
end of
Priyansh
it.
needs to
2
teach
days,
you.
I'm like, it shouldn't
No,
take
I
me
don't make my own
24
milk.
hours to make almond milk. Like,
Yeah, I think if we could make that, it would actually be very accessible for people to be like, to tell them that they don't, because they argue with you. They say like plant-based milk's more expensive. And I went to Cafe Nero the other day. Cafe Nero was the only cafe that didn't surcharge for plant-based milk. Like Starbucks has an upcharge.
Yeah.
Every freaking cafe has an upcharge. And Cafe Nero was like, we don't upcharge for plant-based milk. And just
we don't
like
see color, we don't discriminate.
We don't know that actually. We don't.
And then
Not
2
making any
weeks
claims, I
ago,
don't
they started charging
Yeah.
5 dirhams more for oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk. And
Recently?
I'm just, yes.
Yeah, they were the only ones that now they're
Recently.
not.
Why would they
And
go
now I'm
back?
hating, like I have to search some hate on Cafe Nero for doing this.
You know where it's coming
No
from, guys.
sponsorships.
You know
Yeah,
where it's coming from.
No, I love Cafe Nero, but please stop doing this to us vegans. We are like making the right choice that's more sustainable, that's better for the planet, that's better for the animals, and they're charging us more. And this is just ridiculous.
She's starting a petition, guys.
Yes, I mean, cow's milk is the one that should be charged. It should have an environmental tax. How about that on cow's milk?
How much would that cost? A lot.
Yeah.
Because of the damage to the environment. That's why.
Yeah, but they'd get subsidized.
That's the issue. I think
true.
we need a whole change in the food system where we're not subsidizing meat industry and dairy industry, but we're subsidizing plants and vegetables, and that would be a future I'd like to see.
Yeah. Coming back to values and relationships, though.
We really want to know about your partners.
Would you, your partners, your multiple partners, but would you, it's coming back to relationships, would you raise your kids vegan?
Oh, 100%. Like, I would raise them at home vegan. And I think I wouldn't want them to be alienated when they go to birthday parties and stuff. So if they have like a cupcake that has maybe eggs or milk hidden inside of it, like I wouldn't, I wouldn't want them to be excluded. And I think I would let them eat it, but I would raise them like I would have a vegan household for sure.
You'd have a vegan household. What about you?
There's no cow's milk in my fridge.
I think it's very interesting because you and I grew up vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
And how many generations of kids have grown up vegetarian? And we don't talk about it as if it's unethical. We just talk about it as if like it's a norm.
Yeah.
But when we bring the same things up about veganism, it suddenly becomes like, but you're not giving your kids a choice.
Yes.
But like how many cultures and religions and tradition and like countries have grown children vegetarian.
So true.
Yeah. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice.
Vegetarian.
But I mean, our parents didn't force us to be like, no, this is wrong. We didn't have a choice up until the point where we could have made that choice, and then we did make that choice, right?
I think it was too late for me. When you're vegetarian your whole life, it just kind of ingrained in you that I'm not gonna eat an animal. It just
But like a lot of vegetarians do end up doing that because again, again, a lot of it is upbringing.
Yeah.
A lot of it is
religion as well. Like Jainism played such a big part in that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, for me, it was like, again, I had free reign to go figure it out. My parents were like, figure it out. You want to go do this? You want to do that? Whatever, figure it out.
And the disappointment. Kid goes and turns vegan.
Honestly, I was like, actually, I was like, when people were like, why did you choose to go vegan? I was like, would you rather I did drugs? And like, I don't know. I feel like I've come back not eating meat. This is much better. I went to Australia, like where they only do like barbecues and all that meat. And
what would you barbecue? Tofu?
No, I just didn't go to barbecues. I wasn't invited.
You weren't invited to barbecues. Oh.
But I love that what you said, that like you had an upbringing, and then when you wanted to make your own decisions, you did. And I think maybe that's the way of veganism, where you bring them up vegan, and it's like if you want to consume animal products when you are older, then that's up to you.
Yeah.
I guess that would be a way to go about it.
Yes.
What do you think people get wrong about us? What do people get so wrong about vegans? Is there a misconception or myth around vegans you'd like to break?
That we have multiple partners. Only one. One out of 3 vegans have multiple partners.
No, guys, we're all single, very eligible. If you have any...
No, don't send any
marriage proposals.
DM, approach me.
No,
yeah.
Don't.
Very available, very single.
I've got some...
very available. Very like desperately just single. Yeah. Please help.
You're desperately single.
I'm not, guys.
I've gotten some marriage proposals on like comments. Yeah, because they'll be like, I'm vegan too. Can you marry me or something like that? Like they've commented that.
Okay, see,
and
that has to be a vegan misconception. Please, I don't get any. No one person's been like, please marry.
Guys, it's at Punch Me.
No. Actually, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I don't want it.
All the
it hasn't happened. No.
All the marriage proposals in the DMs, in the comments.
What do you think is a misconception?
Feeds open.
What do you think is a misconception?
I think that you can't look good or eat good food if you're vegan.
Look at us.
Yes, we eat good.
Like that tofu water, skin glow on his face.
Yeah, I feel like there's a gap in the market, in the cosmetics market, for a tofu water product.
I think we gotta bring it.
That's low waste.
Is that the product?
Yeah.
That's a business idea right there.
Yeah. The 3 of us.
Anyone wants to invest in leftover tofu water toner? This is where the idea was found, guys.
Actually, it is a thing. They do it with rice milk for hair and everything.
That is true.
So I'm sure tofu also has magical powers.
We gotta try it. Yeah. We gotta test it on you. The self-proclaimed tofu
king. If I come back with no hair in like a week, we know what went wrong.
But yeah, I mean, misconceptions of strength, I'd say that like the protein thing is still a thing where a lot of even personal trainers would recommend people to eat meat and eggs, especially in India. I don't know what it is about Indian personal trainers. I've heard from so many that they are recommending you to eat eggs or meat. Even they're recommending to vegetarians to like eat meat and stuff. And it's just such a misconception. Like, look, just watch the Game Changers. That's all good. I'm gonna say
it is the norm though, so I see why they would like. They're not right.
Yeah.
They're also not wrong because that's what they've been taught, and this is like, and they've been taught that because all the research that they've read has been funded by that. So like, how do you read something that is, you know, like how do you go to university and they teach you something, and then you're like, well, actually everything I learned is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, to then be like, this is the degree I have.
Yeah.
So I understand why, but again, it's our job to then
educate ourselves,
continuously educate ourselves, educate the people around us, and have conversations with non-vegan people so that they then see our side of things.
I love it.
How do you get someone to see our side of things?
Make them a nice plate of food and don't tell them it's vegan.
With food.
Yes. Remove the word. Sorry. Remove the word.
Yes.
Remove the word
Smash
vegan.
it.
So there's a study that came out between two sandwiches, one that had the word vegan on it and one that was vegan but didn't have the word vegan on it. And the one that like didn't have the word vegan on it got picked up more and bought more than the one that had the word vegan, because it just turns people off. They think, oh, that's not going to taste good.
Is that how we're going to get picked off the market as well? We got to stop
I stopped
identifying
saying
as
it. I've never
vegans.
said it actually.
Yeah, we're plant-based.
I don't even say
Plant-based.
that.
We're
I'm
plant-based.
human.
You're human who eats plants.
Happens to
And
be.
tofu.
No.
happens to
And
be
a glass
the
of soy
tofu
milk
thing.
every morning.
Yeah.
Wait, I was on a story.
Sorry.
So the same way. So I'm reading a book currently called How to Create a Vegan World, and it's by the founder of the organization ProVeg, and he says that it's the term vegan. It's become the same way. You know, imagine walking to a bakery, a gluten-free bakery where everything's gluten-free. Your mind's gonna think that's gonna taste like shit.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and the same thing happens with vegan. People think if it's a vegan cake, it's gonna not be as good as the cake that
Normal
has
cake.
dairy and egg, and it's
Why
just
is
not
that
true.
the normal though? That's what I
I
don't get. Like when you say
know, I
normal
know.
cake and vegan cake, why
I
is
hate
normal?
that, right?
Because it's abnormal. We are abnormal.
We are normal.
But I know, I agree. We should also stop calling it normal and vegan. Like, just say like this one has
No
no
allergens.
eggs or no allergies or whatever. Like
No
it's
allergens. You'd
allergens,
use
sorry.
that.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
example, because people will have. It's all about the mindset of it's. We're humans are just simple like that. We have a brain that
We are
makes
so silly.
makes like
Sorry,
these.
simple? Did you say simple? Sorry, I meant simple.
Yeah, because like we
That's a
just
silly
it's there is a way to go about it, and once we learn what's the way to go about it, and that we can use that in vegan advocacy and animal advocacy.
Yeah, but
I agree.
do you feel that we have to look twice as good, or the food has to be twice as good to compare to the normal
Yes.
alternative out there for people
Yes.
to subscribe to?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't even remember what like a normal cake tastes like versus a vegan cake. I
Yeah.
feel like I've had really great vegan cakes,
We
vegan
are not.
cookies.
We are not the sample. For this.
Yeah,
we are
definitely.
not. We are already here.
I know,
right?
I know.
But we're talking about like
Mm.
a person has to eat something, call it delicious, and then be told it's vegan. For some chemical reaction to happen in their brain to be like, wait, I did not just say something was delicious and it's also vegan. You know.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can feed me gluten-free stuff. You didn't tell me it was, and then I'd eat it, and I'd be like, "That's good," which hasn't happened yet. No hate to gluten-free.
Yeah,
people,
why are you hating gluten free?
I'm not hating on gluten. I've just not had a lot of good gluten-free stuff.
Wow, look at a vegan hating on.
I'm not
I think
hating.
I
just
think
like,
it could be better for our health to eat gluten free. That's what I
Yeah.
would think.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot. Like I just end up eating food that is gluten-free, just
Yeah.
not adding gluten to it. You know, just
okay.
like
Fair.
not adding. Like I'm eating a salad that's gluten-free,
Yeah.
right? Smoothies.
Content creation.
No bread in that.
So both of you are into
Yes.
different forms of vegan content creation without
Yes.
calling it vegan content creation.
No, you can call it that. That's okay. I
I
call it
can
that.
call it vegan content
That's
creation? Okay.
Won't get
But
cancelled, I hope.
You don't get hate. Do you receive a lot of hate?
I receive a lot of advice.
You don't get a lot of
Advice?
proposals for
What do
sure.
they people advise you?
Yeah, I don't get proposals for sure.
You don't get proposals.
I just
So
get
what is the
advice
advice?
like, here, maybe you should eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But again, I've
Maybe you
been
should
very
eat.
fortunate to have a very, very nice community. And because it's all around food, people just seem to have a higher tolerance. Because I also haven't gone after like very traditional foods as well. And I don't say things like, hey, eating like that is wrong. This is the right way. I've always been like,
you just do you.
Yeah, I've just been like, hey, if you like that, maybe give this a try. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Okay.
That's it. I always invite people to then form their own opinion. But I would never like tell someone that how their lifestyle is wrong. Because that's off-putting. Then they stop. Then they're like, they've already moved on to the next. They've already given me a really bad comment and moved on.
That happened to me. I had a reel that was very attacky. The caption said, to you is just a 10-minute meal. To them, it's their entire existence.
Nice.
And the fact that it said to you triggered so many meat eaters.
What do you mean me? What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean?
You
It's
don't
not
even know me.
Exactly.
Attacked people.
They were like, it's not just a 10-minute meal, it's a 20-minute meal or whatever. Like that's I've had like 10,000 comments like that. I'm not kidding. Dude, this
You are wrong because the time frame is wrong.
yeah, I'm not kidding. It's these like what do you call them? What's the word for the bots? Yeah, they're like basic trolls. They're just trolls. They're legit trolls, and they're like, and because of that reel, it's actually reached now 40,000 comments of just people saying
amazing.
yummy
Yeah.
KFC.
Hate pays bills, bro.
KFC.
Yeah,
Hate
but
pays bills.
yeah, it's insane.
And
So
people DM you meat
yes,
pictures.
I've gotten emailed a picture
no
of a
sexy
guy who's
pictures.
eating chicken. Like a picture.
Of a guy? Was the guy cute or?
Well, I mean, he was mean. He bullied me.
Oh,
so
that's Sorry, I forgot that bit.
yeah,
You're really
literally.
focused on your partner.
I know, but I cannot. I mean, he was kind of cute actually, but I mean, he was eating meat. So
just made him so ugly instantly.
yes, so that was just really, really mean. So I didn't reply.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten DMs. I get DMs to say I love chicken and stuff like that, but I don't know what to do with that.
You don't get
Yeah, I always get, hey, I tried that tofu recipe you posted and my family really loved it. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that's great.
Okay, I think there needs to be some loving exchange that needs to happen here with
That
mixed
shows-
content creation.
like the proposals need to come here
yeah.
and the nice comments need to go there.
But that's the thing with vegan advocacy. It's like you're promoting, vegan food, and that's a great way to go about vegan advocacy. And then the harder way to go about it would be the animal side. But
yeah. There is a seat for everybody at the table.
Yes.
We need everybody
we do.
to be talking about this, and not
I agree.
even in terms of it food, but like we need environmentalists. We need artists. We need musicians. We need everyone, right? Everyone has something to contribute, not just to veganism, but towards a better world. Like we can't just say that world leaders are going to fix it, or like politicians are going to fix it, or activists are going to fix it. Every single person alive is an activist, right? We all have the power to make change.
Yeah.
And we can only make change if we come together. And the only way we can come together is if we keep it open for people to come. If we're like, no, only vegans allowed here, or only environmentalists allowed here, or only blah blah blah, then we're never going to be together. Then all the people higher up who are wanting this to not change win.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to end this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Community, change making.
Yes.
Make change making about community.
100%.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank
today,
you.
guys.
for having
So much
us.
fun. I hope
was
the table's
amazing.
bigger next time, and
We
have
get more people.
more vegans or non-vegans or change makers.
We gotta
Maybe we
find
have
more
your
vegans.
multiple partners on the table.
I don't know if I want to be here for that. That's going to be really awkward.
I think it'll be a long table.
It's just like a
Wow.
bachelorette. It's just,
It could
we're
be.
just picking
Could
which
be.
one.
We get to be the judges.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. But I hope you get a lot of love in your DMs after this, and I hope you get a lot of proposals in your DMs after
that's
this.
not.
But
That
let's do
crunch
it.
me, guys.
I can't wait to do this again. Thank you so much.
Thank
guys.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.